iTech Solutions interactive video sessions. In this video, we are going to see how to set up a project using Tilos. Tilos means time location system. So Tilos is a time location software which is predominantly used for planning and managing linear construction projects. So let us see how to set up the basic parameters and how to get started with Tilos. When you open Tilos, go to File and New, you get a menu opening up like this. There are three types of formats available when you open a project. The one is .hst for a new project, which means it is a template. And there is another format .hsp, which is basically your working file and all the projects which you save as. And there is a third format .hsb for backup. So you can see the various options available are you can open a recent project, you can open an existing project which you have already saved or imported to your computer. For now, let us go with opening a new project and how to set it up. While opening a new project, I am going for general.hst because this template already has a predominant or predefined set of features which has been loaded by Tilos. We'll go ahead and press OK. You can see that the latest version of Tilos is 11 and any other older formats you have, Tilos automatically converts them. So I'm going ahead and pressing OK. Once Tilos has started up, you can see the first pop-up option which is coming up called as settings for new project, or this is the define project parameters or project margins, as however you want to call it. I am going ahead and changing the name of the project. Let's make this iTech Solutions Demo. Let me explain the basic features or the user-defined fields available here. The first is the distance unit. As time location system defines, you have to define both a distance parameter and a time parameter. So the unit of measurement for distance can be meters, and the various options are kilometer, kilometer plus, so meter in meter or meter in kilometers. We are going ahead and selecting meters for now. Also, please note that all the parameters which you are defining can be changed from within the Tilos while working on a project itself. So here we are clicking the start distance. So it can be started from 0 if your project is going to start from 100 meters, 1000 meters. So whatever you want to define, you can give your project margins or define your project parameters. So we are going ahead and going with 0. The end distance is 10 kilometers. For now, I'm just going to keep it as 1 kilometer or 1000 meters. The start date can be for from 1st of April 2022 to 6 months, 7 months, or let's take the end of the year. Also, you can see that the start and end dates have a time parameter as well. The next is base time unit. So this is the working hours in a day. For example, 8 hours working, or you can define any other parameters like minutes. If you want to have a period, another set of working hours like 10 hours, 12 hours, 24. So this is used when you are working in shifts or any other reasons. The next option you can see is the default calendar available. So the default calendar available is 5-day work week with 8 hours. You can change this as well to non-stop working, 6-day working for each 10 hours, or inside Tilos, we can also define a new calendar to our requirements. So I'm going ahead and pressing apply. Now Tilos asks us where to save this file. So for now, iTech Solutions Demo, save it in the folder which you want, so you will be able to retrieve it later. By default, Tilos asks you to save it within the folders where your system has installed your software onto. Save. Now you can see this is the basic graphic user interface of Tilos. Before going into it, let me explain the various areas in the user-defined fields or the user interface. So as you can see, The topmost shows the menu bar. The next, on the bottom of that, you can see a Tilos Explorer. The Tilos Explorer tree view gives a lot of basic details and how to navigate through Tilos. The next, what we are seeing is the Insert Object toolbar. You can see a lot of various buttons and options available using which we will insert activities, graphical objects, shapes, even OLE objects, etc. Then to the bottom of it, you can see that there is the detailed object toolbar. This detailed object toolbar is similar to other planning tools where each and every object or cell or activity will have the very intricate details or the customizable aspects which are linked to it. Next, you're seeing the main work area. In the main work area is what we call as the time location chart or where we work. So this is the basic time location chart or distance chart, marque chart, as however we want to call it. So next, moving on to it, let us see the various options which are available under our Tilos Explorer. So you can see there are three options. The first one is expand all the views. So all the trees, the entire details or the tree view which is showing you under Tilos Explorer bar will be expanded. The next button is collapse all, which is very useful when you are working between multiple views or multiple project data or between your library. So what are the three options available under here? The first one is the views. Under the views category, you can have lot of options like activity list, cost allocations, Gantt chart, integrated view, and your resource allocation. The normal view or the one which we are seeing here under the integrated view is the time distance diagram. We double click onto it from anywhere inside Tilos, we will return back to this view. If you want to see the activities list or the activities view, how we normally see in a Primavera P6, this is the task view or the prime view. So in this view, you can see the basic columns like name, activity ID, your WBS, your calendar, activity type, start date, start time, end date, end time, all the details will be available. So any activity you are adding in the task list or in your time distance diagram will be reflected in both the activity list and also the Gantt chart. So all the three items are interlinked and integrated with one another so that any change made anywhere will be reflected in all three areas. So next, I want to show you about the project data. The project data is nothing but the folder which contains all the details of the project which you are going to enter into it, configure it based on both the distance axis and the time axis. So here in the time distance chart, the x-axis is the distance axis and the y-axis is our time axis. So both the factors can be defined under the project data. Also, you can have a lot of sub-projects. If you have a work breakdown structure, that can also be shown here. And obviously, there are calendars where you can have the predefined set of templates available, or you can add new different calendars to it. Then the distance axis definitions under which you can define your cell content, you can add distance and sector profiles, you can have equations, the various type of distance units or the grids, and most importantly, the main thing of a linear project for road projects or any railway project where you have mass areas or mass haulages. Then we come to the time axis. Similar to the distance axis, you can define your cell contents in the time axis, your time profile, grids, etc. And also there are graphic libraries and categories. The graphic libraries will be seen under library. So now I'll tell you what is category. Category is nothing but if you are having to work for multiple company projects, you can define it as a category, or you can define a work type like it is a civil work, a mechanical work, etc. Now, going to the third option available is the library, which is one of the most important features of Tilos on which it makes it very powerful, because Tilos is filled with a predefined set of libraries for activities, resources, graphics, and other items. Under graphical libraries, you can see there are various activity templates for each and different types of work, for earthwork, pipeline, roads, track building, etc. etc. And the biggest advantage is that we can add more templates under this by configuring it to our liking on the way in which you want to visually represent each activity or a group of activity. Then you have the activity groups, which is again customizable. Third option are the resources and accounts. Resources are nothing but your labor, machine, material, and also you want to add like pipeline, any automated devices are there, you wanted to bring that resource into it. So any resource addition can be added from the resource library. And the accounts has how you want to link your expenses or cost. Also, the Tilos helps you in recording the cost of each and every resource to a specific activity, and at the same time you can add or make an invoice onto it, so you can both monitor cost and your sales or your invoice portion. The third are delivery centers. The fourth are the graphic libraries. So since this is a visual representation tool, there are various libraries available for each and every line, box, or any color you want to define can be done under the graphic libraries. The other libraries shows nothing but our currencies, units, the link categories, what are the types, color codes, the haulage types, and WPA groups. In currencies, you can see the basic ones are dollar, euro, and greater GBP or your pounds. So again, you want to add your own currency. For example, if you're in India, you want to add rupee, you can add from here. You want to have any new unit like meters, centimeters you want to add, or any such items, we can easily add from here. Now, coming to the main work area. So this is your main chart area or your main working area, where all the time distance diagrams and all the distance and time parameters are being set up here. So on the top, you can see a various list of options which helps you navigate through, and lot of basic features or shortcuts available here. So starting with it is your new file, open folder, then your save file, navigating between views and your settings options. And one of the most important and unique feature is that you have a undo button and a redo button. Then coming on to this is your displaying your view map. The display view map basically explains how Tilos works. In Tilos, if you see each of the cells, so individual cells like how it is shown in an Excel sheet can be linked to each other. So as I told before, all your distance profiles or your distance is measured in the x-axis or the horizontal axis, and the time scale, which is depicted in green color, is done on the y-axis. So automatically, if you define each of the cells like it's a distance cell and a time cell, Tilos will automatically plot it in the time distance scale. So the moment we define the center portion as a time distance scale, it takes the data and integrates it automatically. So this is the reason we took a general, or if you want to go with a fresh project, you have to mandatorily define what is the time distance cell and which is the distance scale and the time scale separately. So if you can toggle between these two to check at what point of time which cell is connected where. And also there are other types of cells you can add, like a graphic cell. If you can see the various options here, you have a graphic cell, you have a Gantt chart cell, you have dashboards which help you to automatically take data from your time location chart, and it will automatically be updated. The best example is if you want to do a planned versus actual. So you can toggle on between the display map view. The next is your grid view. Then we have a filters option. Then one of the most important features of Tilos, you can add rows or delete rows. You can add a column, you can delete a column, and you can glue cells to the left, right, center, and all four directions, and to unglue an option. This feature is something similar to an Excel sheet which makes Tilos easily customizable in a matter of minutes, and it helps you to add. One small example of adding or how easy it is to use Tilos is all you have to do is select a cell, then click on add row, and you can see easily a row is added. Similarly, you want to delete it, click on the cell you want to delete, go back, press, and it asks remove row. So the other option is similarly, you can add a column, you can remove a column, and gluing of a column. So you want to glue this cell to your left, you have to press glue cell, and it automatically merges and it becomes a single cell. So if you want to unglue it, select again, go back and press unglue. So this is how Tilos helps you to easily change or edit your visual presentation and makes it very easy. The next options available are your zoom in, zoom out. So zoom in, zoom out, and this option is to display to your page width based on the size of your screen and what you are wanted to see. Automatically this makes similar to how you do it in your print preview, where you want to add all columns or all rows to be visible in a single sheet of paper. That is what this also does. The next option is display page height, and automatically your entire Tilos chart or the presentation or the visual representation is completely seen. The next option is your drag mode, where if you have zoomed in and you want to move through your sheet, you can select the hand mode and you can click at any point and you can drag to the right, to the left, to the bottom, or to the top. So you want to come back. This is every option in Tilos is also a toggle on and toggle off, view drag mode. This is nothing but your zoom percentages. The next option is create presentation, which is nothing but your output. So how you want to take it in a PDF format, in A3, A4, whatever is the size depending on your project requirements. The next option is global changes. Any item you want to change, you are adding a new calendar, you can press global change, it will be affected completely. The next option is the basic view details of whatever changes you have done. Then it comes to your dashboard options. As we saw earlier, if you want to create a dashboard, it will show the various dashboard options. And the last two options, the first is scheduling or rescheduling. This is an option which we regularly use in Primavera, where you make any small changes and it has to be reflected. We press reschedule button. In Tilos it is similar, you can use a shortcut of F9 as well. And the next option, which is currently not enabled because there is no data in our project, is detect clashes. Yes, Tilos helps you in detecting clashes. For example, since it is a linear project and you are working on a single area with two different contractors and they're starting from X to Y distance and similarly Z to A distance, so there is a clash. Tilos will help you to visually see it, and in places where you cannot see, we can use the clash detection button and see it. So this is all about how to set up a new project in Tilos and how to go about it. So see you in our next video, and hope this helped you in getting a good view about how to start up a Tilos project. For any other queries, please do visit our website klitech.in. Thank you.